Hey, it's JK. Welcome to the Bonfire Bingo Invitational Breakdown. Today, we're going to talk about all the action that's taken place in round one, which is now concluded. And I'm not alone. Great news. I've got with me a very special guest color commentator, a prolific challenge runner by themselves, also a member of the Bonfire, and also the grandson of famous actor Marlon Rando. Please welcome Sir Rando.
Hello, and I am glad to be the color commentator because it's not like I actually have any abilities for myself.
You sell yourself too short, my friend. You sell yourself too short. Thank you very much for joining and helping me go through all the action that's taken place in this first round.
Yeah, it's fun, but I will admit that you do realise when you've signed up, I need to get through like 15, 20 hours of footage. There's a lot that's gone on. There is a lot that has occurred.
Yeah.
Has been fun going through it.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I think round one exceeded my expectations in terms of just some of the closeness of some of the games, man. It's been really kind of wild, and I'm really glad that everybody's kind of gotten very into it, and the audience seems to be enjoying it as well, which is obviously the most important thing, right? Because we want to make some good content.
Yeah, everyone should be having fun. Everyone wants to have a giggle, and when everyone's enjoying themselves, it's always good fun. But the other thing I will say is that already at this point, I think there is a villain already beginning to emerge.
Oh, really?
As I was looking through, it's one of those things where not a villain in regards to everyone hates this person, but there's fear there for one of the runners already. I think.
I mean, I think I could probably guess who that is. So would a good place to start be looking at the Dark Souls 2 game between Gamers Weekend and Challenger Andy? Would that be a good place?
Oh, I wonder why you decided to start there, JK. Jesus, that was insane. So is Gamers Weekend, has he actually speedrun Dark Souls 2? Because I knew he was Dark Souls 1 speedrunner.
Yeah, I mean, he has definitely played a lot of Dark Souls 2 as well. I've seen him he's cleared. I mean, you've played Dark Souls 2, right? So you know, there are a lot of bosses, right? It's quite a big game.
Yes.
So bro has cleared the game, clearing all of the bosses, I think, in about 10 hours, which is mental. And there's 41 bosses in that game, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that game. As I was watching, you could see that it looked like initially everyone started off. Both parties seemed to have good intentions in hand. It was Challenger Andy who was playing against, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Yeah. So I could watch as I was watching him. He seemed happy, and he was saying that, I have no chance there. But you could see there was a glimmer of hope. You could see that there was this idea of, I could still pull this out the bag. I might just be able to clutch this. And then the first square fell.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fair enough. I missed that one. I completely forgot that it was signing up for one of the Covenants.
Yes, it was the Covenant. Covenant of Champions. I think he just missed the square, unfortunately, but that was that you can literally just get that right away and join it in Majula, but he didn't see it quick enough, and Gamers Weekend was just right in there straight away. Hard to really catch up at that point, and then I think Andy got a bit flustered, and he tried to do the old trick with the Dragon Rider of getting it to fall off, and unfortunately, he sort of didn't manage to do it. And the problem with Gamers Weekend is, as you kind of alluded to, he is such a dangerous competitor that if he gets a lead, it is very hard to fight back. I've played Gamers Weekend twice myself in non-tournament matches, and both times he beat me. He is one to watch for sure. He is one to watch. He is, so far, as you said, the person that everybody is a bit scared to play against.
I mean, to quote a film, he is not the bingo man. He's the one that you send to kill the bingo man. That was ridiculous. You could just watch as you were scrubbing through the timeline. Every single time you see one of those, one of those squares pop up, you could nip into Chandler and just see him like slowly die inside. I mean, he managed to get the 8 rings as the square, but every single time, like he was running down to kill the last giant. Oh no, he's got there first. He's beat me, right? And there were like 3 or 4 times throughout that entire run where he was like, I'm going to go and do this thing. Get 75% of the way there. That square has now been taken. I have wasted my time. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah, so I think that there was 2 unfortunate things that happened, which unfortunately meant things didn't go well for Andy. One of them was he went for the 8 ring square, but I think actually it was a bit of a cursed square because he spent all his souls on the rings from Xiaoqua, the cat in Majula. And because of that, he didn't have any souls to actually like level up or buy life gems to heal. So he was kind of just running around with unupgraded health and no way to heal. And it meant that he ended up dying to some bosses, which was pretty unfortunate. But the other thing is he bought the ring. He bought all of the rings from Xiaoqua except the Ring of Whispers, which you need to be able to summon Man Scorpion Talk, which was on the board. So if he had bought that ring, he could have gone and done that straight away, and he would have beat him. But he just he missed that. And to be honest, that's not in any way a slight against Andy. It's just in the heat of the moment, the pressure of bingo. I mean, you've been there yourself, right? Like it's a crazy different kind of way to play, and you do feel like an immense amount of pressure.
Yeah, I remember playing there and people saying, slow down. It's like, no, I don't want to slow down. I want to be running as fast as possible. I need to be like some sort of greased missile. But because of that, you end up running into everyone's spear, getting poked repeatedly and dying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just a normal day in London for me, to be fair. But but yeah, it's true. That's the thing. You have to find this balance between, at least with the Souls games, if you're doing bigger, you have to find this balance between getting the objective, but also setting yourself up so you can actually kill things. The number one kind of noob trap with Souls Bingo is that you rush objectives, but you don't set yourself up with a weapon and build to be able to actually kill bosses. And you end up with stuff like just getting bodied by Quailag or things like that in the game. So.
Or repeatedly dying to the gargoyles. That's also something that can happen.
It can. It is indeed something that could happen to somebody, hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically speaking, of course. Or just running past an enormous tower as you're getting chased by an enormous flying, swimming Hydra thing.
Yes.
It's also another thing that can happen.
Indeed, it did.
It's very easy to make mistakes that you wouldn't make at any other time.
Indeed. So, yeah, that was... in part because I think Andy, Andy himself said that he feels he should have performed better, and I'm pretty sure he's gone away and done a whole bunch of like practice now. So I have a feeling he is going to come back with a vengeance. I have a feeling that this has motivated him because he only unfortunately got 1 square, and GW scored 13 in total, including a bingo.
I was going to say, like, it wasn't just the 13. He decided that was like, he was like, oh, I'll get the bingo as well. That is like a complete win. You can't win in a more perfect way than
indeed.
that.
I mean, he's on the board. He's on the board now. I mean, we knew that GW was going to be a tough competitor in this, and I'll be really interested to see what happens to Andy for the remaining games. I'll be really interested to see if anyone manages to take down GW, because I said it in the announcement video. I think it's fair to say he's probably one of the favourites to go all the way. But let's see.
I mean, if I was in any of the competitors' position and I was going to go against GW, the way that I would do it is I would announce in the Discord. I'd be like, "Hey, shall we play Dark Souls 1 Bingo together?" And then he would respond with yes. And then I would go back and edit my original comment to say, shall we play Mario Kart 8 together? And then I'd screenshot that and send it and be like, we're now playing Mario Kart 8. You can see you've agreed to it right here. So that's how I think the best strategy would be to try to get an easier win over him, let's say.
I mean, I think you mistake the fact that he's probably really good at Mario Kart as well. He's probably really good at a whole lot of games. I don't know. I think you would have to get him to agree to play a game he's never played before. If you want. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, GW on the board for the Gold League with 2 points there. So well done to him. So let's move on and talk about one of the other games. I guess as we're in the Gold League, let's cover the Gold League stuff first, and then we can move on to the Blue League. I think that's probably a good way to do it. So, okay, so in the Gold League, we also had another very intense game, which was Teleos versus Trev the Dev in Dark Souls 1 Bingo. Which was a very interesting one because it was very different from GW and Andy's game because Teleos had a crazy lead to begin with. I think there was one point where Teleos had something like 7 squares and Trev had 3. And Teleos actually had 4 in a row and just needed 1 more for the bingo. But unfortunately, things happen in bingo and things do go wrong, unfortunately, and sometimes pressure gets the best of us. And it didn't help that the square he needed to get was a particularly bad square of killing the Titanite demon in Anor Londo, which I don't know how much you fought that thing, but that thing sucks. It sucks to fight so badly.
That's the one where you need the rusted ring to even run around at all.
No, it's the
No, that's Sen's Fortress. That's Sen's Fortress.
Yeah. No, this is it's Titanite Demon in Anor Londo, just before Unseen and Smoke.
Oh, it's the one in the room.
Yeah, the one in the small room. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that sucks ass. I remember I was like, oh yeah, I'll go in there. That'll be no. I will leave that. I will leave that alone. It probably also doesn't help that I can imagine that is one of the things that gets ignored so often just because you can run and jump over the railings unless you need to get the drops.
Yeah.
Like get the chunks or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a combination of it being in a small room. It has a monster amount of health. And also it's one of... it's probably got some of the worst hitboxes of any of the enemies in the game, which is... and it does a ton of damage. So it's an all-round bad time. And yeah, but there was unfortunately a few points where Teleos should have done a couple different things. So one thing he forgot to level up. So he went into the catacombs, right, which is an area where death is pretty frequent, and he went down there with 10,000 souls on him, not leveling up.
Ooh.
Obviously, those got lost because he was going to get the Large Divine Ember, which is in Tomb of the Giants. So he was going down there to kill Pinwheel. He died a couple times going down. He died to Pinwheel as well, which...
that's... yes, okay.
Died to Pinwheel.
The stress is on at that point.
Yeah, he died to Pinwheel, but he still had the 10,000 souls on him. So he killed Pinwheel. He now had like 25 grand souls on him. Died in Tomb of the Giants. Died trying to get back down there. So 25,000 souls gone. Finally got down there and got the Large Divine Ember, which put him up to 4 squares in a row. But obviously he had wasted a bunch of time there. And the other mistake was there was 2 other squares he could have secured while he was in the catacombs, which was he could have got the He could have got the Dark Moon Seance ring that was down there. And I'm trying to remember what else. There was another... It's escaping me, but there was another square he could have done while he... Oh, that was it. There was one of the... blacksmith. Yes, you're right. That's it. There was kill 3 blacksmiths, and he had already killed Andre. So if he'd killed Vamos the blacksmith there and got the Dark Moon Seance ring, he would have had an extra square there. And then when he got to Anor Londo, he could have killed the giant blacksmith to secure yet another square. So had he done that, because he was down there anyway, especially the Dark Moon Seance ring, it was so close to him. He would have been even if he didn't kill the Titanite demon in Anor Londo, then he still would have been in a better spot. But then Trev managed to unfortunately catch up with him, kill the Titanite demon first, and then Teleos struggled to beat Ornstein and Smo, while Trev managed to beat them, got the Princess Guard square, and now has fast travel, right? And once you got fast travel and the other person doesn't in Dark Souls 1 Bingo,
it's over. It's so hard because you can't even plan and look at the board and be like, I think they're here. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they can warp around. And Teleos then made the bold decision to not finish off Ornstein and Smoke because he kept dying, and just walk all the way back to the area before Anor Londo and go do some objectives there. But obviously, again, no fast travel, difficult to catch up. Tough game. I know.
Out of interest, there's one square that occurred right at the beginning that I wanted your rules opinion on. What do you think of obtain 2 divine blessings as a gift?
Well, so there's a funny story to do with that. Well, it's not even really a story, but so I don't know if you have. I have never chosen that as the gift to start with, and it turns out many other people hadn't either, because I was under the impression you only got 1.
As was Trev at the time.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's the thing. It's my bad for not knowing that. So, like, I would say it's fair game for him to have it. He didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't specified on the board. It was my error for not knowing that you started with 3. Because I don't think anyone ever picks that, right? Like, you're either picking the Master Key or the Black Firebombs. Nobody's choosing any of the other stuff there. So
yeah, that's like when I initially saw it first off, I was like, oh, that's bold, going for something other than the Master Key. But obviously, he had a second gift, including the Master Key, didn't he? Because he was playing
Thief,
Rogue Thief. That's what.
Yeah.
So he had that as well. I think the Master Key is kind of a requirement for this. I don't actually know how well you could go through everything without it.
I mean, it's totally possible. It would just take a bit longer, because you can still go down to Quelaag if you get to Andre by beating the Taurus Demon. Then you can go down through Dark Route and go through Valley of the Drakes. But that's kind of long, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
My strategy for DS1 Bingo is to just rush Quelaag a lot of the time. So I like having the Master Key. But yeah, tough game for Teleos. I think he was pretty gutted at the end that he had such a significant lead, and Trev managed to just come back and get the 13 squares. So yeah, tough game. I know Teleos had done a lot of practice and worked hard. He just didn't have the firepower to take down the Titanite Demon or Ornstein and Smo. The +5 reinforced club kind of fell off pretty hard there, unfortunately. So
yeah, I think the thing that is really desperately sorry there is that they were obviously going for the Titanite Demon at the same time.
Yeah, they were.
And so there's about a 20-minute time gap where he was going for it and started at Firelink Shrine, head straight up there, and just couldn't quite get it. And that's brutal.
Yeah,
that is brutal.
Yeah, man.
But
it happens.
And it was a great game. It was a great game by both, because it's not as if it was, and it was close. There was a lot of squares captured, and you can just see right at the end that red just swarms the board. Teleos just starts absolutely swarming. But by that point, you've made decisions that just make it difficult to try to get any of the other ones, because you'd put so much into getting the Titanite.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I think genuinely, if he'd got those 2 squares in the catacombs while he'd been down there, it would have made a world of difference. So yeah, unfortunate. It's that's what happens. Them's the squares, as we say in bingo. Nobody has ever said that before. Yep. I just said it now. But anyway, but I'm making that a thing. Damn it, I'm sticking to it. Okay. Well, so yeah, well done to Trev for being on the board, getting the 2 points. You know what? Part of me wonders if Trev is going to be a bit of a dark horse in this tournament. I mean, bro has set up a spreadsheet for Dark Souls 2 with every objective listed on there and where to find it. Like, he has gone through that effort. So, and I assume he's going to do the same for the other games. So part of me wonders if, Trev is going to be a little bit of a dark horse going forward. Let's see.
I definitely do think that there could end up being some complacency by some of the participants being like, I've done very well, this will be fine. And then just Trev strolling in with extra. It's like taking all of the performance-enhancing drugs. He's doing everything that he can, He's there juiced to the gills with all the info we can find. Sat there, like, man's doing a Rocky montage in the background whilst everyone else is playing with their plums. Yeah. It could happen. It could happen.
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. That could definitely be a thing. Let's see. But GG to Trev for sure.
GG.
Okay, and then we had the final game of the gold round, which I think was the one you got to be in live attendance for, at least some of it, which was Doomwolf versus Babs in Elden Ring Bingo, the final game of the round. So, yeah. That
was exciting.
Yes.
That was exciting, and that was that was so close. That was heartbreaking in moments.
Yeah, it was
absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was real close. It was real close. There was unfortunately just I think Babs played. I think both of them played pretty well. And at the beginning, it was actually like probably the closest any of the games have kind of started off, because they were literally just getting square. Like he'd get a square, she'd get a square, and they kept going like that. And there was some good sort of blocks there. But I think the moment where it sort of changed was Babs was trying to get the Knights Cavalry square, and unfortunately she had some issues with the second Knights Cavalry because she was using the Bloodhound Fang, and the Asher War on that kind of was just kept missing, and it just she ended up losing to the Knights Cavalry a couple times, which was really unfortunate. By that point Doom was a bit ahead, but Babs then managed to block, going in and upgrading her weapon in Liurnia, although she lost a bit of time because she didn't have the runes when she got there. But I think the best bit was when Doom needed the spiked Palisade shield to get the to get the win.
Yes. That
was great, and like they both I think Babs got to the lift like a second before Doom did, and they both started going down. But then when Doom got to the bottom, he changed path and went to go get the other walking mausoleum to get that square. But by that point, Babs was now ahead and was able to snipe the spike Palisade shield. That was very intense. That whole race for that was like my heart was beating, and I wasn't even playing.
Well, and the other thing that makes that, like, that must be so difficult for you, because you're obviously there, like, manning the stream and doing all that sort of thing, and you've got both open there. So how do you even, like, it's so difficult to talk to Babs. It's like, oh, you're doing that, are you? Because regardless of what you say, she's going to think you're trying to hint to somewhere, whereas you're trying to be as neutral as possible, and then you're just, like, accidentally upping the tension without actually doing anything. That's a hard position to be in.
It's real difficult. It's really difficult because, like, you know, it's so hard not to, because obviously I'm going to give, you know, help and advice, same with anyone, right? You know, chat's allowed to sort of help and stuff, so it's kind of the same vibe. But at some points I was really struggling. I was really struggling because, you know, at the same time, I don't want to interfere too much, right? You know, and I want you know, Babs to, you know, and all the good stuff she did was completely on her. You know, she did some really good stuff in there, blocking Doom and that. But yeah, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot because, you know, obviously want my wife to win, but also Doom's one of my good friends as well. So like, it's a conflicting situation, isn't it?
It's like if you've ever been that sort of situation, it's like when you're in a car with someone that you really like, and you think that maybe driving a little too close to a wall, and you just go, huh? What was that? Nothing? No, it's fine. No, nothing. It's fine. You said a car. No. As you were, it's fine. It's so hard not to leak anything as well.
Yeah, it is.
Because obviously Doom will be like, look back at the VODs and be like, he made a noise there, and it's like, well, yes, but that's not telling.
Yeah, and
anything.
Yeah, exactly. I adherently stick to the no sort of stream sniping stuff. Like, I'll give Babs advice about what she should do based on what she's doing at the moment, or like what she's thinking. But like, obviously the stream sniping we keep completely off it because it's just spoils the excitement, doesn't it? So,
what do you think about Elden Ring as a game? Because, like, as you're looking through it, like, that first initial block, even though the game wasn't that long, that first half an hour, no squares were captured.
Yeah.
So, do you think to some degree that makes it more exciting? Because you've probably got around about that time before you can properly get into stuff and get cracking anyway. So, there can sort of be a build that is done in that time, and you don't necessarily, it's harder to predict what the other side has gone and done because you've got such a long period of time where you can be setting things up for the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Because I think you need to get a good upgraded weapon. And initially you can't unlike like Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, for example, right? You can buy the Titanite shards from the blacksmith. So sort of like once you get there, if you've got the souls, you just buy them. But you can't really do that in the starting bit of Elden Ring. Like some of the merchants might sell 1 or 2 stones, but it's better to just find a route to get them. Doom had a good strategy, actually, going to kill that one NPC all the way in the south of the map, who drops a +8 halberd straight away. So, like, no...
Don't need to worry about any of that sort of malarkey. Just get something pretty good straight off the offset.
Yeah, exactly. It's solid strategy. Obviously, it is quite a detour to head all the way down there. And really, he's not doing any progress towards squares until he gets that. But then afterwards, if there's anything to do with bosses and stuff, he might have the advantage. I think like Babs's route was pretty good though. Like Babs's route involved getting all the talismans, but also you pick up a bunch of smithing stones on the way. So like she's kind of setting up her weapon and making progress towards that talisman square as well. So it's kind of a bit of a I think you need to kind of have a route that progresses towards a square and also gets you a build, which I guess could be said of any bingo, right? But Elden Ring being open world and such does just mean that setup can take a touch longer.
Yeah, and it's especially large.
Yeah,
isn't
it is.
And like once you've unlocked the Site of Grace and you can travel there, that's fine. That makes life easier. So you've always got fast travel to some degree. So it's not as cruel as it can be in something like Dark Souls 1, where if you haven't got fast travel and you have the square, I don't know, sit at the bonfire in Ash Lake, you're then hosed trying to get back up.
Yeah.
So you can, at the very least, pivot a little easier from the get-go.
Yeah, I think like compared to the other games, Dark Souls 1 is particularly unforgiving. It feels like death in that game sets you back so far. Like you used the example of the gargoyles earlier, right? You die to them. It's not just like, oh, I need to do the boss again. It's like I've got to go like into the church. I've got to go up the stairs past the guy with the rapier. I've got to go past all of those like millions of hollows in that one small room. It's a bad time. It's a bad time.
At least this video game has the stakes of America, so you can fight a boss and be like, let's go straight back in.
Exactly. So it was. I know Babs really wanted to pull out the win. It was unfortunate we didn't get that, but she did score 7 squares, which I think is pretty respectable. And I will say, I've said it before, but Doomwolf, in terms of gaming skill, I would put him up there as one of the top people in the bonfire. In terms of that, little story. I before I started making content, I used to watch Doomwolf's Elden Ring videos, and I used to think, God, I will never be as good at Elden Ring as this guy is. So, this was before I knew him and everything. But, so he's a tough opponent. I think he is one to watch as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being one of the final 2. So for Babs, who has significantly less experience playing these games compared to a lot of people in this, for her to do that well against Doomwolf and have him sweating, I would say that's something to be very proud of.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's be honest. She got 7 squares, so depending how they could have landed on the board, she could have taken that game. You only need 5 to take the game, so it's not like she didn't have the possibility to have won. And let's be like that moment with the tree spirit.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was so unfortunate. I think. I think, in fairness, by that point, it would have been pretty. Even if she had got that, it would have been quite difficult to pull it back. She would have basically had to somehow manage to go for every square that Doom was going for and beat him to it to be able to pull out the win. But yeah, it was still unfortunate because she was like 2 hits away from killing it, and had she, and she went for an attack when she was at half health, and it was just yeah, it was unfortunate. It was a judgment call in the heat of the moment, and sometimes I can say from experience I have done exactly that and also died and lost progress. So like, yeah, it's not. It's something all of us have done probably at one point or another.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so easy to sit on the sidelines. How many times have you done it personally, where you've been there fighting a boss and you lose, and you're like, oh no, how terrible, and you look in chat and people are just going, greed, you should have been kept. It's like, I have eyes. I was watching this as it happened in real time. I could see that I made a mistake.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the thing. I think, like, yeah, it was, for her to do that well and have pressured Doom as much as, after they got off the call, Doom said to her, Babs, why you got to pressure me so much? So I think for her to put that kind of pressure on a player as good as Doom, I would consider that a really good first showing for.
I'm not being funny. What is this realistically? This is her third competitive game,
yep.
Isn't it?
Third game.
So, and I'm like, I'm not being funny. It does seem like she is like Italian Goku. Every time she's just getting stronger.
Yep.
She is just getting stronger. So I think when it gets edited in to her stuff on her first win, we need to use the terrible Italian Goku Kami.
Yeah, we do the Onde Energetica. Yeah, we'll do.
Onde Energetica.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get that in there for sure. But yeah, I think like, I agree. I think like, she's, she's done well. She's improving, and I think like she'll be one to watch out for. I predict some wins will be coming her way in the not too distant future. I'm pretty sure.
Has she had any thoughts on what other games she'd want to play, or is she sticking with Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring?
I think there will be probably Dark Souls 1, Elden Ring, but I think she might be doing Bloodborne Bingo with Andy whenever that game comes up. I don't think that's until maybe round 4 or something. So,
okay.
So yeah, I think she'll do that because she hates Dark Souls 2, like absolutely despises it. So she's not going to play that with anyone. And she doesn't mind Dark Souls 3, but she hasn't played it that much. So right. I know she was also trying to convince Gamers Weekend to play Tears of the Kingdom, but I don't know if he has agreed to that or not. But that's.
And I've already given a strat.
Yeah.
You already know how to make him agree to it. It's all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying.
If only Discord didn't have the little edited in brackets right after what you've written.
No. What you do, you rely on laziness. You take a screenshot of it, and then you Photoshop that out, just change the colour,
okay.
And then just hope he never scrolls back up. That's all you've got to do. That's all you've got to do.
All right, noted. I will. I'll make sure to relay that to her, and hopefully that will work. Okay, so that covers the Gold League. That's all sorted out there. So shall we move on over to the Blue League?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, so this is kind of interesting because there's 2 of these 3 games that have taken place in games that I don't really know very well. And I think you have maybe slightly more insight to them than I do. But I did also reach out to some of the competitors in these games and get their kind of thoughts on the whole thing as well. So maybe let's start off with the one game that was not streamed of this whole first round, which was Baron's Castle versus the Backlogs, aka Lemon, in Skyrim Bingo.
Yep.
So I have played Skyrim once 5 years ago. I don't really remember a whole lot of it. What's your kind of experience? Have you played the game all that much?
I've played enough. I've played enough Skyrim. I have, like many people, got multiple copies of it. Proceeded to put in enough hours to complete some of the quests and that sort of thing. And I've watched enough Nerbit videos on it to have some ideas. But yes, I played it casually. Never tried to like go through and do challenges on it, which you end up learning so much more from it. But it was a close game, and I think that there were a couple of points where both sides could have pivoted to have completely changed the course. I mean, Lemon was, squares-wise, well behind for the vast majority of the runtime.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
He just didn't. It just wasn't there at all. Let me pull it up just to make sure that I'm saying the squares right. Where's it gone? It is in here. No, why can't I? Where has he gone? Can't I see? Yes, there we go. There we go. So yeah, so like, and again, it's one of those where for the first, like, how long was it? It was
3 hours, nearabouts.
Yeah, that's a long game. Yeah. That's a long game. I mean, for the first half an hour, it was reasonably close. But then after that, it was just brutal. Baron's Castle just went absolute sicko mode and just decided to just take absolutely everything. You could hear in Lemon's comment, he was like, I've lost this. I'm just going to carry on playing for fun and get some squares and just see what happens.
Yeah, it was
like,
yeah, go on.
There were some of them there that were difficult. I mean, like, even like sleeping in 5 different inns, that is something that both of the players were going for. And Lemon, when Crafted Gold Necklace was taken, was like, no point going for that, even though he was only 1 or 2 inns away. He could have got that in like 2 or 3 minutes, but he just decided to completely move on and only focus on the bingo, which I think is such a ballsy move, because at that point there was only 1 bingo that could have possibly been obtained on that board. Like, at that point, the entire like overall course of the game was set. Like, once that happened, because like, how long had he got that one potential bingo that he got?
I think it was
sat
I think
there.
It was an hour. It took him an hour to get the 1 square.
Yeah.
From it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically, from what I reached out to Baron, who told me a bit about it. So, like, the ones for context, the 1 square he needed. This is Lemon. He needed complete 5 side quests, which apparently can be a very long one to do, because the side quests have to be specific things that count as side quests. So Baron thought it's going to take him ages to do that square, so he decided to rush the majority to get 13 squares. And basically, the last square he needed to get 13 was to collect 5 of a specific plant, which only grows in 1 place in the game, in Underground Dungeon. Now, what Baron said is, to access said dungeon, you need to go through another dungeon first, which is super hidden. And he went all the way through the first dungeon, but forgot that you need a key from an NPC to even access the second dungeon. So he had to leave, go get the key, and run all the way through the first dungeon again, which cost him like 10 minutes. He then finally got into the dungeon, and he had grabbed 3 of the 5 plants when Lemon called bingo. Baron said if the game had gone 60 seconds longer, he would have grabbed those 2 plants, which is, I think that might make this the tightest game of the round, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, looking through, Baron managed to do so many things, like if you imagine this not being a bingo game and just someone talking at the pub and what they did on their afternoon. What did you do today? Well, I went to sleep in 5 hotels. I went and did some drugs. I caught a fish with my bare hands, and I jumped up into the stratosphere. You'd be like, shut up, go away, drink your bitter in the corner and stop annoying me. You just wouldn't believe that person. He managed to get so much stuff done.
Yeah, he did. I think he was really gutted that that Lemon managed to pull it out. I don't think that could have been any closer.
No.
So very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I'd almost go as far, because Baron has played Skyrim a lot, I'd almost go as far as to call this a bit of an upset of Lemon winning there. So yeah, it'll be interested to see how Baron comes back against that. See what he does from there.
I mean, that being said, that shows, because like, you can see that the squares that Lemon got, a lot of them, aside from the complete 5 side quests, are really quick and easy to get. So Baron obviously went for a lot more of the difficult ones that took a lot more running around to get. You know, full to your death, that's a nice easy one to do. Collect the 5 sweet rolls, that's in Whiterun, just they're all sat there on the table if I remember correctly. Get eaten by a dragon, again, that's playing the game badly. you can just allow some of those to happen. Breaking out of jail, again, which was already, you can link into the kill Nazim in broad daylight. All of those things are in quite a small, tight, enclosed area. So I think that Baron was definitely the better player, but Lemon had a better overall strategy for it.
Seems so. Well, congratulations to Mr. Backlogs for scoring 2 points.
Yes.
2 points for the Blue League. Okay, so on to another Bethesda game, one which I also don't know loads about, which is Fallout 4. Now, I think we spoke a little bit before this. You also haven't really played Fallout 4 either, I think. Am I right in saying that?
No.
Okay.
No. I have seen my nephew play it once, and I was like, that looks like a video game that I'm not going to play.
Fair enough. Well, I have got some commentary from both Mancakes and Swolby on this. So I'm going to read actually what Swolby wrote to me, because Swolby has like a really good way with writing. So I'm going to try and read it like as Swolby would say it. Okay, so hold on. You see, Mr. Leeds, that was my secret. When it comes to Bethesda, there's pretty much only one game I played a lot of, and that's my hundreds of hours on Skyrim. Before the bingo round, I think I had maybe 100 hours total in Fallout 4. I've got 15 on Fallout New Vegas and 2 on Fallout 3. More of a lore fan for the series. So my entire strategy was, which of these can I do the fastest? And after that, how can I prevent 5 in a row bingo? My strategy, in inverted commas, boiled down to studying the bingo board to find routes to the quickest squares, which sounds fairly normal, but missed out on any kind of long-term viability. By the time I'd built a small lead on Mancakes, I was also out of squares I knew how to do easily and was far from combat ready for the long-run squares. What started as an intense race became a frantic defensive tennis match, where best I could do was swing wildly and hope the ball landed on his side of the court. Sorry, that's so good. The last move that actually broke me there. The last move I made that had any impact was heading south as fast as I could for one of the guaranteed combat armor spawns. Because of this, I narrowly avoided losing to Pancakes in a timely 2 hours, instead opting to lose in a strung out 4-hour slog where Mancakes solidified the win as I was frantically Googling for Fallout 4 information. He wrote that whole thing out to me, which is just pretty beautiful. Pretty beautiful.
Yes.
So,
the one thing I will say is that I learned some things in regards to what is the best way to gain experience in a game from this run that I didn't even consider. So think about it in RPG. What do? How do you get experience? You fight things, you discover things. This is how we gain experience. Or you could be like Mancakes and become a postman and just constantly destroy a house and put posts down everywhere. He put down something like, if you walked into his settlement, someone's just knocked in like 250 wooden posts into the ground. Man was chopping down trees to make more posts, just running around dotting them all over the place like an absolute lunatic.
I mean, what was interesting was Mancakes before the start of the tournament was saying, there is one guarantee, which is that I'm going to lose. But he had a pretty dominant win here because I believe he also got 13 squares and a bingo, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Let's hear from Mancakes on it here because I've got some commentary from him as well. The idea of not knowing what he was doing was horrifying. The objectives on the board were all relatively easy. Things like getting a legendary gun and a kill with the junk jet are largely guaranteed if you know where to go, and him and I both know where to go. I think the closest objective we had was killing a My Alert Queen, as while I was actively fighting one, he was searching for one, and since it's a tough enemy with a lot of health, I was just lucky to have found mine first. It was really close, but a lot of fun. So that's from Mancakes on it. So the longest game, by the way, of the first round went nearly 4 hours, which is...
That's brutal sitting there like being under that kind of stress for 4 hours. Like that's ridiculous. Why would you do this to yourself?
Yeah, I think that was a hell of a hell of a thing. Because they started the game in the middle of the night for us, and I woke up at like 5 or 6 a.m. and they were still going, and I was like, how is this still going? Jesus. But yeah, then Mancakes managed to managed to score the victory, getting some points on the board when he had gone into this thinking he wasn't going to win any. So, another very close game.
Yeah, I was going to say that is quite close because it was 13, and the bingo to 9. So it's not like there was, that's quite easily like get one objective before the other and snipe 1 or 2, and that could have been completely turned around.
Yeah, indeed. No, I think, it was definitely a close-ish one. Swalby did very well. Mancakes did very well. And I'll be interested to. I've actually got Swalby in the next round myself, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, and we'll cover that. So GG to Mancakes there, and then the final game of the Blue League and the final game of round 1. It's who's it? It's Panda Magdala versus some scrub. JK Leeds, don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah.
No, jokes aside. So Elden Ring Bingo again, which I was excited, also nervous to play against Panda because Elden Ring is her favorite game, and she is very good at it. I was pretty nervous going into this one as a result of that. And she had me sweating. The first few minutes of that game, she certainly had me sweating. She went. What was really funny was before the game started, there's an item called the Cinquedea, which is a dagger, and where you get it, funnily enough, it's actually right near the Blackblade Kindred, who you and I were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And you have to do this very challenging drop-down section, which if you kind of make a wrong step, you're going to die from gravity. And we were talking about before the game started, without even seeing the board, and I was like, if that would be a bad one to get for me because I'm just going to choke doing the drop-down section. I'm probably not going to do it. And she was like, well, I've done it so many times now, I think I could easily do that one. And then we opened the board and that square was on there. And lo and behold, in the first 20 minutes, she got it.
Yeah.
So
I think this is also the quickest game.
Possibly.
Isn't it?
Either this or Andy and GW. One of the two. I'm not sure.
Because this was an hour and 15?
Yeah, hour and 15. Yeah, I think GW and Andy was also quite also a fairly short one. I think they were similar in length.
Yeah.
So
because they were having a good natter to each other about it for
half an hour.
Yeah,
they had a good
chat. So that was an hour and 10, so it was very, very close.
Yeah,
very close.
Very close. Yeah, it was I had my strategy, which funnily enough was very similar to Babs's sort of route. But my thing was to get the large club for big bonk, stance breaking, all that kind of stuff. I
love me a good big bonk. Love me a good big bonk.
Yeah, it's the one. Because if you get the large club, 2 charged R2 attacks can stance break Margit, which is really good for getting through him. But yeah, right near the beginning, so Panda got the Cinquedea. She got also 4 physic tears, and there was a third square which I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But she had 3 in this row, and I was like, oh shit, I need to stop this. And the square I thought I can get this is to kill the Crucible Knight in Stormvale Castle, because there's a great cheese where you can just cause him to fall down an elevator shaft, which is perfect. But yeah, I had to get past Margit first. I actually choked against Margit, which was I was really sweating. I was like, oh my god, if she beats me to this, then I'm done basically. And luckily I got through and managed to get to the Crucible Knight in Stormvale, get him to fall down the lift. And after that, things went a bit better and we started getting some things. There was a square on the board for Killer Boss hitless and a square on the board for Killer Boss with a bow. But because I was a strength main, I didn't have the ability to wield the bow. So I had to use the bow, which I could not wield, to kill Soldier of Godric without getting hit. And it was intense.
Is Soldier of Godric a boss?
It's got a boss health bar at the bottom. If it has a boss health bar at the bottom, it counts, yo.
Yep.
But yeah, so I was just running away from him, shooting arrows, doing 20 damage, and right near the end, I got caught on this bit of ground while I was trying to move backwards, and he so nearly hit me when he was 1 hit from death, and I think I would have cried if that had happened, but luckily dodged it, and killed him to get 2 squares with 1 kill, which was good. Which was good.
Oh God, I'm just looking at this poor bloke. He's like an absolute pincushion as you're furiously running away from him.
Yeah, it's savage. It's savage, isn't it? Like, look at that damage. I actually didn't know that it was going to be possible when I went in, because I didn't know if I don't have the stats to wield the bow. I don't know how much damage it was going to do. But luckily it was enough. It was enough, thankfully.
I mean, you were almost. It was not even a case of the damage, because you could do damage fine. You were very close to running out of arrows to do it.
Yeah, I only had enough money to buy 27 arrows. So, like, it was, it was very nerve-wracking. It was very nerve-wracking. Let me have a look. I'm gonna pull it up as well, just so I can look at the old board. What's going on there? Yeah, there we go.
You had 6 arrows left at that point.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. It was pretty tight. Pretty scary.
But I think it was that there. That's where you sort of started a bit of a cascade and just started to like pick up a bunch of squares in sequence. By the looks of it.
Yeah, that was. That did really help, because at that point, she had 4 and I had 3, and that 1 kill put me in the lead again. And then I went and killed Ian the Guard Golem to get the Ian square. I had to get the Ian square. I couldn't. If I didn't get the Ian square, I think my audience would never forgive me. You know, because it's.
Yeah, and it's a requirement, isn't it? It is a requirement.
Yeah, ongoing meme. Also, what else happened there? Oh yeah, so kill 5 bosses in Limgrave. I was able to do that. Kill the 2 Knights Cavalry, and then she went and acquired the Venomous Fang to block my bingo at the bottom, which I was like, how the hell did she do that so quickly? But upon rewatching her VOD, she actually got the Grace right near it earlier, so she could just walk back to it, which was cool. I think like the other thing I was happy to do was. So 1 square on there is buy the champion set from the Kaled Merchant. And the champion set, I don't know if you know this, it's Babs's like brand armor. That's what her character's wearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's what her character's wearing in her like profile picture, and on her thumbnails and stuff. So like, I felt like I wanted to get that one as well. And yeah, Panda also went to get the long-tailed cat talisman, which is a mission away. That is a real unbelievable mission away. It's like right at the bottom of this big water wheel inside the Ray Lucario Academy. So,
do you think that's a poisoned square?
Yes. Well, do you know what? It actually is an extremely dangerous square, right? Not just because of the fact that it's a mission, but there is. I don't know if you remember these enemies from your time playing the game called Abductor Virgins. They're like these big metal things with blades for hands that can grab you and put them inside. Grab you and put you inside them.
So they abduct the virgin, is what you're saying.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Basically there's one down there, right by with that talisman. And if you get grabbed by it, then you basically die, but get taken to this dungeon that you can't warp out of until you complete the dungeon.
Oh, that's vicious.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. It's real bad. If you get caught by that, then it's going to waste so much time getting out of there, because it's a really nasty little place as well. So, yeah, it's a dangerous square to go for. It's a very dangerous square to go for. I think even not if it grabs you. I think even if it just kills you, you get warped there. So yeah, not good, not good. But yeah, so by that point though, I had quite a few squares and managed to get the 13 for the victory, which I was happy, because I think like there I would have still been happy for Panda and GG and everything, but like part of me, there would be a small part of me that would be like, I've lost in the first round of my own tournament,
Yes.
So,
yes.
But yeah. Overall, it was a really good game. It was a really good game, and yeah, very much enjoyed the Elden Ring bingo. I hope I get to do Elden Ring again with somebody else in the time coming forward.
What other games would you feel comfortable enough playing?
Any of the Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, or Elden Ring. I'm good with any of those. I think Dark Souls 3 maybe is the one I might struggle the most with, because it's another situation where you you can't really buy the upgrade materials right away. You kind of have to collect them, and there's a specific route you need to go. But also, it's a bit more linear than the other games. So, like, if your opponent does get ahead, it can be more difficult to catch up. So, it's a bit of an interesting one there. So, yeah, overall, though, I think you agree, a pretty good set of games for this first round.
Yes, rather exciting. There's been ups, there's been downs, there's been drama.
Yes.
But I think, generally, that's kind of what you want.
It is.
That is what you want. And it has been a giggle going through and watching, and it's been great fun to, like, support people as they're doing these insane challenges where, if I'm honest, it's also a little bit more fun when people don't know what they're doing.
Yes, yeah, it is.
And you've got two mildly clueless people trying to figure it out. It's so easy to root for people, but yeah, it has been fun going through for sure.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming games then, just to finish off. So for next week, so the next round starts on the 17th. This might already be out by the time the round might have already started by the time we release this. So we've got Teleos and Babs going head to head. I believe their game will be Dark Souls 1 Bingo. Don't know when that's going to take place. Both of them are coming off a loss in the first round. So one of them will get on the board with a win by the end of this game. And I think both of them are going to be pretty hungry for it as well. Fair to say.
Yes.
So we've got that. Trev the Dev versus Gamers Weekend, who I believe are doing Dark Souls 3. Now, Gamers Weekend doesn't know Dark Souls 3 as well as Dark Souls 1 or 2. So if there was a game that somebody might have an advantage against him in, it might be Dark Souls 3. And
especially when you've got someone that had spreadsheets upon spreadsheets.
Yes, indeed.
For everything.
Yeah, exactly. And also with this one, converse to the previous one we just mentioned, both of them are coming off a win in the first round. So it means that one of them will be adding a loss to their score as a result of this. It's actually the only game in round 2 between two people who won in round 1, which is interesting, just the way it's shaken up there. So let's see. I'll be very interested to see if Trev pulls up what some might say is an upset for that one.
I mean, if anyone can do it, it's him, for sure.
I'd say so. He's definitely up there. Now, the next one, the last one for the Gold League, very interesting. Doomwolf versus Challenger Andy. Andy has somehow convinced Doomwolf to play Dark Souls 2. Doomwolf does not like Dark Souls 2 very much at all. So I'm kind of surprised he agreed to it. But that is going to be interesting. Andy obviously played Dark Souls 2 last time, so he's got some experience there, and I know he's going to be gunning for his first win. Can Doom overcome his hatred of the game to pull out a victory? That is the question.
I mean, like, how do you think that conversation went down? It's like, come on, it'll make it closer and more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look, Andy is a very smart cookie. Bro has a degree in neuroscience. I don't know if you knew that, but he has a degree in neuroscience.
What do you mean? You can't tell me that the mental trumpet man has a degree in neuroscience.
Yeah, bro is very intelligent. So, like, I imagine he's 4D chessed Doom in some way into doing that. So, yeah, very, very clever guy. I'll be very interested to see this game. And yeah, I think Andy will definitely be really wanting to get that first win on the board. But I know Doom is also very keen to make it to the finals. So yeah, that will be one to watch for sure. I'm excited to see that. Okay, and then over in the Blue League, we have Baron versus Mancakes. They are going to be playing Oblivion, I believe, actually. They're going to be playing Oblivion Bingo.
Okay.
For something sticking with the Bethesda theme. Baron's a big Bethesda guy. I think Mancakes is a big Bethesda guy as well. So that'll be interesting. I know Baron's kicking himself off that loss in the last game. So he's going to... I'm pretty sure he's really going to want to win this one.
Going back to our conversation that we had earlier in regard to Skyrim, with you saying that you thought that the combat was a little bit rubbish, Oblivion is like that, but it's even worse.
Great. Okay, well, it's going to be...
even more jank to be had.
Although, is the remaster, because it just got remastered, didn't it, pretty recently?
Yeah, it's the same game.
Great. Fantastic. Well, yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, Mancakes, I think, is overjoyed that he's got a win, but will that mean he's going to be a little more complacent here? Who knows? But yeah, I'm pretty sure Baron's going to want to pull out the W here, as is everybody. Then possibly one of the most ridiculous games that's going to happen. So Lemon versus Panda. The original plan was they were going to play Elden Ring, but because she felt that she was playing Elden Ring with too many people, she wanted to switch it up, and they're going to play the Elden Ring Convergence mod, which is going to be a car crash. There's obviously no bingo board for it, so they're going to be making that up. It has a lot of the items in different places, different bosses and everything. And unlike the other games, because it's a mod, I don't think you can even Google where stuff is. So I mean, Lemon also hates Elden Ring. I don't know if you're aware of this, but he hates Elden Ring.
Yes. Yeah, so how did that happen? And how did you manage to convince a man that hates the video game to play a juiced up version of said video game that he has no experience of?
Well, I mean, you have to ask Panda. I guess she's very persuasive or something. But yeah, that's going to be... I don't know how that's going to go. That could be an absolute car crash.
So what does the mod actually do?
It adds loads of new items, new weapons, new classes, new bosses. Like changes up the areas. Like it is a full overhaul mod of the game. Like it's not just like a little thing, it's a full overhaul mod, like new kind of everything in it from what I can see. So I haven't played it myself, but I've seen videos of other people playing it. And Panda also said that there's been like 5 or 6 updates to the mod since she last played it. So like I don't know what's going to happen there.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This could be an absolute like disastrous game. This could break the limit for how long a game goes on for.
Yeah, I was going to say this could either be an half an hour game or a 6.5 hour game, and all we can say to that is them's the squares.
Yes, them's the squares.
Them's the squares.
Yes. Oh man, it's crazy how many people are saying that at the moment. Like,
it's such a common thing to say in regards to bingo videos. Them is the squares.
Yeah, them's the squares. It's literally like the most popular catchphrase on the internet, and that's not me being hyperbolic. That's just facts, right? So yeah, that is going to be that's going to be interesting. We don't have times for any of these games just yet, but they will be added to the Bingo Doc spreadsheet, which will be probably in the description to this podcast. I assume podcasts have descriptions. I've never posted one before, but I assume they do. So we'll get that in there too. There is one game, however, which does have a time for it, which is the final game of the Blue League for round 2, which will be myself, JK Leeds, versus Swalby1 Kenobi in Bloodborne Bingo. And that is going to take place on Saturday, November 22nd at 8 p.m. UK time. So I think that's like 2 p.m. Central time for you guys across the pond. So that's going to be good. I am very excited to play Bloodborne Bingo. I have not yet played Bloodborne Bingo properly against anybody. And I want to give the board a proper... I did one test game against Baron, but I changed the board a bunch since then because we sort of realized some of the stuff was too far into the game. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty excited about that one. And hopefully, I mean, obviously, good luck to Swalby, but I'm hoping to keep on a winning streak.
It's a bold strategy going into one that you've not played bingo on before, and I will see how it all pans out. I'm sure it'll be a very interesting watch.
Interesting point. We originally were going to do Pokemon Platinum Bingo, but
okay.
I ended up not doing it only because like Swalby sort of made me aware, look, the way these boards are sort of made, the game will probably last about 6 hours. And I was just like, I cannot physically, like, with life and stuff, do a 6 hour stream. I just can't do it. Yep. So
Yeah.
And I just think that's too long. That's too long for a bingo game. It'd be drawn out, right? So, Bloodborne Bingo. I didn't have that on the docket to play with anyone yet. So I think, I'm happy to be doing it. I'm very excited to play against him, and hopefully it's a good game, and hopefully the Naifu Nation can add another W to their belt. Let's see. Okay. Well, I think that is everything. So thank you, Sir Rando, for joining me for this wonderful little colour commentary sesh, talking about the games.
Thank you ever so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Wonderful. So, guys, look out for the bingo games. Check out the doc in the description with all of the different games, and the times will be added in there as well, and also the rankings. And of course, subscribe to all of the great people involved in this wonderful tournament, including Sir Rando, our beloved colour commentator. So, thank you very much, everybody, for listening, and them's the squares.
Knives out, Naifu Nation. Them is the squares.
Them's the squares. Thank you. See you, everybody. Have a good one.